Hey guys, good morning on this rainy Sunday morning in Eastern Washington. Um, just had a thought this morning. I thought I'd share it with you. Thanks for checking it out. And I'm going to talk about weight loss with the ketogenic diet. Um, the question I've had a lot is, can you do the ketogenic diet just for weight loss and then kind of go back to your normal eating habits? And the short answer is yes, you can lose weight with keto. But if you go back to your normal eating habits, the weight's going to come back. I mean, it's that way with anything. I mean, if you're eating the standard American diet, which is processed carbohydrates and sugar, you're going to gain the weight back. That's just how it is. You can't do keto, stop doing keto, and then expect to keep the weight off, obviously. But it will help you lose weight. Whenever you do keto, though, I will say that in my experience and experience that I've heard from others is that when you lose the weight, you don't necessarily gain it all back. And why that is, I'm not exactly sure, but it doesn't come back, like when you do. I've done lots of diets, Weight Watchers, Nutrisystem, Atkins, which is, kind of like a precursor to keto. But whenever I've done like Weight Watchers, I would lose weight, but then whenever I'd gain weight back, I'd gain the weight that I lost plus some. And that's not been the case with keto. I have gone off of keto in the past, not recently. I'm dedicated to this way of life now, but previously, before I was so into it and passionate about it, I would lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight, the yo-yo diet thing, but I never actually gained weight back up to my full what I was before. I started at 262, got down to about 185, but I've never gained up to 260 or anything close to that. The most I gained back was I got to about 203, 205, and then I would lose again when I would start it up. So it's a very effective way of life, effective eating, and it's the way that we should be eating. It's the correct diet for humans. And I've talked about that in a previous video. But the thing is that if you do keto for weight loss, and then you go back to your eating habits, you're going to gain some weight back. Your body adapts to the keto way. Whenever you're eating that way, you go into ketosis. Nutritional ketosis is what it's called, and your body's burning ketones for energy as opposed to burning glucose for energy. So whenever you're burning ketones, you're burning fat. Your liver's processing fat and turning that fat into ketones to use for energy, as opposed to when you're burning glucose and turning it into ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is the energy molecule. So you're using ketones as opposed to glucose. You go off the keto diet, and your body will revert back to burning glucose and storing your excess. So whenever you're consuming, carbohydrates, any excess is excess glucose in the bloodstream is stored as fat, typically in the form of triglycerides. But so whenever you're gonna be burning ketones, you don't store your fat. You're using it as energy source. So if you go off, and a lot of people, whenever they start doing keto, if you're overweight, you're insulin resistant, that means that you're basically the key doesn't fit the lock to your cell to open it to allow the glucose in. So you've got a lot of insulin in your bloodstream, you've got a lot of glucose in your bloodstream, and they don't communicate. You can't utilize it. So whenever you have excess insulin, you're storing fat, and that's how you get fatty liver. That's how you get excess fat on your midsection. You get lots of visceral fat. So whenever it's best to stay on keto, to be able to just maintain and keep the optimal lifestyle, your optimal health. But if you want to use it as a weight loss tool, you certainly can do that. But it's just best to stay on the ketogenic way of life. It's healthier. I mean, it's just a healthier way of life for you. Um, so, also, whenever you're doing keto, you can intermix fasting and intermittent fasting. So, intermittent fasting is, I think I've talked about before, you can, 12, 14, 16 hours of fasting period up to, some people do a 23-hour fasting period with a 1-hour eating window, and they do that daily. And then you can mix in extended fasting, which obviously is more than one day. There's been lots of evidence now that fasting is good for the body, the cells. It's great for weight loss. If you're not eating, you're not gaining weight. And a lot of people think, with the fasting, oh, you're losing muscle. That's not true. When you're in the ketogenic state, your body is muscle saving, and you're just burning fat. So that's the good thing about the intermittent fasting and the extended fasting is you're burning your fat stores to use for energy. So that's just the best way that you can optimize the ketogenic diet. Now, you don't have to do the intermittent fasting or the extended fasting, but if you're not hungry, don't eat. Breakfast is, break fast is the most important meal, but it's not necessarily breakfast. You can eat, anytime. If you're not hungry till lunch, don't eat till lunch. The farther you push it off, the more optimization you're going to get from the ketogenic diet, with burning fat. So yeah, that being said, if you got any questions, you can shoot me a message, of Keto Simplicity on my Facebook page, or you can like and share on YouTube, and I appreciate you viewing my videos, and you guys have a great day.